Now I'll talk about it. Right now. So, that reminds me, I got a little rant there. Had to cool down, calm down. Alright, I'm good. I'm cool now. My boss. So now, I'm a little better. Alright, I'm a little better. I can talk about it. I can talk about without being frustrated. So basically, I got some tax information in the mail that said, important tax information enclosed. And I was like, well, I already paid my taxes, so what the fuck is going on here? If I haven't paid them by July, I'm in trouble. And I was a little worried. So I got it, and it was tax on owning a vehicle. Which is crazy, because it's a city tax. The city's like, oh, well, your car's registered here. So I called them up, and I was like, all right. It's clearly some sort of registration tax. Because the only way they know that I own this bike is if I register it. So I called them and I told her that. I was like, all right, so why didn't I pay these taxes when I registered the bike? And she was like, it's not a registration tax, it's a city tax. And I was like, okay, but you wouldn't know I own the bike unless I registered it. So it's a registration tax. She's like, no, it's a city tax. And I was like, all right, so if it only gets incurred when I register the bike, how is it not a registration tax? I could own it in your city and drive it around and register in a different city. She's like, yeah, the taxes would be a little cheaper in other cities. And I was like, so I can just register it wherever I want? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, fuck, I'm going to register it at some house out in the middle of nowhere, the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and not incur any taxes on it. She's like, you could do that. So, fuck, I was so pissed off when I got this, and it's like 60-some bucks a year just to fucking register this in the city. And by register, I mean own it in the city. Oh, fuck, it doesn't even make sense to me. If I have to register it for them to give me the tax, to tax me properly, then it's a registration tax. Whatever, eat a dick. So, I was considering not paying, and I asked her, I was like, well, what happens if I just don't pay it? Because it was very serious. It was like, if you miss the first payment, then all of the payment is due immediately, and you'll get incurred fines and all this shit. I was like, you guys are serious about this? I think people just don't pay these city taxes. And she was like, oh, if you don't do it, then you can't register it again. That's not such a bad sounding thing. Why would you tell me that? I'm probably just not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to pay your shitty tax, and I'm going to register in a different city because I'm going to move soon probably. And even if I don't, I'll just fucking register in a different city. So, you done screwed up. I'm not going to pay your shit tax because this is exactly what I was getting back to. What does the money go to? Well, if it's not a registration tax, if it's a vehicle tax, if it's a tax for owning a vehicle, then by fucking God, you better use that money to make my life easier when it comes to driving around. But look at this. And look how shitty the roads are here. They're such crap that I know that's not where the money's going. I think it's going to lining the fucking pockets of the politicians. It's not going to the roads because they don't do shit. DMV is expensive. Owning a car in Rhode Island is expensive. Owning a vehicle, even this motorcycle, is expensive compared to where I used to live. So, I don't fully understand exactly why they have that tax. I don't know what the money goes to. But why don't they put more money into the roads and streets if it's already so expensive to own and register and pay taxes on all these things with a bike in a city? Why is all that so expensive if you do a shit job fixing the very roads? If the roads were perfect, I'd be like, well, we pay a lot, but man, it's worth it. No, the roads in this whole fucking state blow. They suck my ass. Yet I pay for something. I don't know where my tax money goes. And that's what's really fucking frustrating. Fix the goddamn roads and I won't bitch about the price. Well, I will, but not as much. I'll be like, okay, well, at least the roads are good. I guess you don't fully understand that till you live in a place like this, where all the roads suck, and you pay a shitload of money for shitty roads. Well, fuck you. I'm not going to do that. I will get around that as best I can. So that's my rant. Fuck this system. And I ain't paying your shitty taxes. I don't even want to register in this city. Actually, the registration wasn't too bad. To register this bike, it was like $26 for 2 years. Not 1, but 2 years. I've talked to other people, and it's a lot more than that for 1 year. So I think that's kind of a steal. I just noticed that the other day too, because I was looking at the taxes, so I checked my registration to see if I paid taxes on it. Which it wasn't included. It didn't say there was a tax, but she said this wasn't a registration tax, so whatever. I guess technically that money goes directly to the city, so if they taxed the money you pay them, that would just be a fucking double whammy. Oh, you pay city taxes on money you pay to the city, so well, why don't you just fucking excuse me. Every time shit is taxed, man. Tax. Why is the East Coast so serious about all that? You go over a bridge, you pay a toll. Is that money you paid to go over the toll, you pay to fix the bridge? No. All the bridges are in disrepair. I swear to God, the worst time I ever had paying a toll to drive on a shitty-ass bridge was the Tappan Zee Bridge in New York. Oh, goddamn, the thing's falling apart. Stick, you asshole, stick. Well, that guy's pushing it. I like it. I like it. Work, buddy, work. So anyway, I'm driving to New York, I'm going across the Tappan Zee Bridge. They, pull me over to pay. So I'm like, I gotta pay to go over a bridge? I was young and naive and didn't know about tolls. Well, I knew about it, but I didn't want to pay it. I was more like young and not wanting to pay it. So I'm at the bridge and they tell me to pay, and I'm like, fuck, alright, fine. I'll pay to go across your goddamn bridge. As soon as I pay and start accelerating, I hit the biggest bump on a road I have ever hit in my fucking life. It was about the size of that curb. No, I don't know how big it was. I didn't actually see it. It just suddenly hit. It made the worst noise on my car. It was as if I hit a curb. That's the kind of sound I would expect from hitting a curb. It just made the most freakish noise, and I was like, fuck, how did my car hold together off that? What, did I hit a cat? I look in my rearview mirror, and I see other cars hitting this bump and jolting. So basically what happened was I paid money to go across a bridge that almost damaged my car. I should have stopped and gone back and said, give me my fucking money back. That's the shittiest bridge I've ever been on. I'm not paying to go across this goddamn bridge. Now that probably wouldn't have worked. Too bad. If only you had a choice. Do you want to pay the toll or don't you? You don't have to, but the bridge might collapse. And if you do, you get the nice lane. Well, of course I'm going to pay the tax and have a nice bridge. That's just common sense there. I don't mind paying the toll if it's worth it in the end. That freaked me the fuck out. I was like, what is all that noise? I don't so much mind paying the toll if I'm driving across something nice. So, where I'm from, where I grew up, out west, there was one toll road in the city, more or less. Not very many toll roads, and every time I drove on it, it was fucking gorgeous. And that's the way it should be. It was a private company that owned it, and that's how they made their money. You own the toll road, you make sure the toll road is in good repair, and all the money you make just goes back into the toll road, / you make a huge profit. And it was in excellent repair. In a place where the plows run all the time, and it's cold enough, and so you can't say, oh, well, the roads in New England are so bad because all the plows have to run all the time. That's fucking bullshit. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. The roads are bad because you don't fix them right. You do a shitty job fixing them. Yeah, yes, the plows roll through and fuck them up, but you don't fix them properly, and that's the problem. I'm from a cold place where the plows do roll, and they do fuck up the roads, and they do fix them properly. And I always thought the roads were kind of crappy there, until I moved elsewhere, and I've been around a bit, and I realized how fucking shitty the roads are. Other places, better there. And better in some places, even. They're sort of mediocre roads there. So, I guess when I was growing up the whole time, we would only travel on the toll road once in a while, and when we did, it was gorgeous and glorious. And the money that you paid to go across the toll actually went to fix the road. And I came out east, and that's just not the case. I don't know where the money goes, but it sure as hell doesn't go to fix the roads or the bridges or whatever the hell you're on. They just use it for something else. Well, then why do you charge to go across it? It's just a money-making scheme. I wish I could fuck the government back. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, this is my land. You can't fly a plane over my land. I mean, if you can fly a plane over my land, I can... Are you saying the sky above my land doesn't belong to me? Is that what you're insinuating? No. Because that sure is what it sounds like. And what about the mineral rights beneath it? Nope, those belong to the state. If you think you own what's underneath your land, you better think twice. Depends on what state you're in. Not that there's much in the way of mineral rights around here, but in a lot of places you don't own what's underneath. You just own the plot on the surface, which is bullshit. And you don't own what's above it. If you were to shoot a rocket up to 10,000 feet, the FCC would come and... FAA... FCC... Freud. They would come and fine you. And you'd be like, well, why? Oh, because you're in our airspace. So wait a minute, I own this land. I don't own what's under or beneath or above it. I just own the land. Yep. Oh, well, that makes sense. You're making a lot of sense today. Thanks a lot, dick. Alright, that's enough rant for now.